Hi, I'm Abby. I'm an international student.
Hi, I'm Mark. I'm a domestic student.
We're part of a group called Connecting International Student Brisbane.
We've been conducting some research recently with Brisbane residents and domestic students about their perceptions of international students in Brisbane. So the video that you're about to see has a collection of some responses from international students from around the Brisbane region about the perceptions that we gathered and some common questions asked by Brisbane residents.
There are a lot of interesting responses in that video. We'd also love to hear your voices, so please come and join us on International Student Voice Forum on Friday, 18th of October. We'd love to hear from you, and for detailed information, please check out our video description and the link to our Facebook page.
Thanks very much. Hope you enjoy the video.
Have fun.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, so are you guys ready for questions?
Not ready, but we try. Let's do it.
All right.
Read it out.
Do you use your real name or English name?
I use my English name a lot in the past for your convenience, but I think right now I would prefer use my real name, Yufen-san. I would like to people know my real name. I think it's that's the only thing I ask you to remember. Try it.
To me, it's a challenge, yeah, because my name is Alejandra, so it's not a common name and it's also a long name. So the most of the people is calling me like Alejandro because the song, but in Spanish, the name that finished with O, it's for a male.
Yeah, I use fake name. My real name is G1. Yeah. How about you?
Well, my name is Alexandra, but since I came to Australia, people just keep shortening my name. Mm-hmm. So first it's Alexandra, now it's Alex, but I don't know, in the future it might be A.
So my name is Bonito, but a lot of the Chinese students, they have difficulty saying my name. So yeah, they just call me B. Do you use your
Real name. Veronica is not showing in my passport, and I have my English name. Because my name, other people, they don't understand what is Chen Jun means. They don't understand the meaning of that. So I better choose something is easier for other people to pronounce and to remember.
My real name is my English name. So yeah.
Yeah,
so
same for me.
I mean, it appears in our ID.
Yeah.
So yeah.
in our passport.
And why did you choose to study here in Brisbane? Brisbane, how to say, is an international city and quite open sometimes, and you can learn more things here.
It's actually a good question. I actually didn't know where I wanted to study, but I always knew as a teenager that I want to go out, want to go to abroad. The way we always have this thing in India, we have that going out to abroad is a big thing. It's a big transition, or something which is, or they have a better education. So that was the norm of me also.
For me, I wanted to study in Brisbane because I had my sister here, living here already. So coming from overseas, it was, of course, convenient for me to stay close to family because I had no one else to depend on.
Brisbane is not my first choice. And before I came here, I actually don't know where's Brisbane. So what I know about Australia is only Sydney and Melbourne.
Why are you willing to pay so much money for study? Oh, is he willing?
I'm not willing, but I did.
But we did. We have to win. Yeah. This is a really good question. Why? Because we think that
as we said, the education in Australia is really good. It's one of the most famous around the world. So thinking that we are here, we have a lot of opportunities around the world.
To get a better chance back home, yes, you have to be internationally recognized to at least stand a chance.
Fees is really high as an international student, but yes, one of the reason coming here and study is that we belong to a developing country and we do not have so much, we don't have the advanced technology.
I think for at least what I know of the agencies that ask people to come to Australia, we have the idea that working here we would be able to pay for it. So even working the hours that we are allowed to work, we have like this impression that here everything is amazing. So if we come, we work our 20 hours, we would have enough money to study, maybe send home and live a wonderful life.
Yeah.
So once you're here, it's like, what else you can do? You work and you try to pay for it.
Next question. What do you think about these two terms used on international students? Cash cow and not genuine students.
Not being genuine. What's a cash cow?
Boom.
For the cash cow, I think because our tuition fee is much more higher than domestic students, maybe it makes you think that people from international is very rich.
Yes, education, it's the third business in Australia. It's the third biggest part of the economy in Australia. So yeah, it's expensive here that we have to pay. And yes, just the international students have to pay, but we are paying for quality of education.
For me, the word cash cow is it hurts me and my feelings because I feel like we're actually cash cows because international students are making so much money for the Australian economy and yet we get actually nothing out of it. I still gotta pay for my medical. If anything happens, I have nothing to cover me. I have no backup. If anything happens to me, I gotta dig deeper into my pocket and cover and sort my issues out. If anything, my parents are my cash cow because they gotta dig deeper in their pockets to actually still pay my school fees if I can't afford it and still help me pay my bills. So I don't like that word at all.
No, I don't feel offended. I prefer that they have that thinking about us that they are lazy or they are not contributing with the society. So I prefer this concept that rather than the international students are lazy. They are here doing nothing.
I kind of agree and disagree at the same time. Like, it's a very stereotypical term in that sense where, so it feels like they portray themselves as like, well, rich people or people with a lot of spare cash to spend on, and yeah, like them not being genuine students can, I don't know, like some of them may really struggle with, say, English not being their first language, or they are really studying something new, and maybe they're just not very comfortable with the environment. And there are people who seem like that, but they are actually hardworking behind the scenes. So I don't know.
Do you believe you are getting a good education from your institution?
Oh, I definitely agree. It's definitely a different form of education from my country, because in my country it's more written based. A lot of, I'd say it's not practical enough. It's more like learning things but not being able to apply it right away. So I feel like studying at QUT is more practical based, and which is more relatable in a real life scenario.
Well, I think that again, back home we have the impression that education in English is so much better, you know, like education in the UK or in Australia or in the United States. And what I'm noticing is that the education we got in I got in my country is amazing.
So like let's say this class, design class, maybe there's only like one day that they actually teach you a bit of the basics, and other than that, like you gotta learn for yourself, like how to use like the software and all that. So I think actually a lot of stuff you can learn by yourself. But then again, like what's the point of paying so much to a university that like you sort of like hope that they'll teach you more in depth while and guiding you a bit more, whereas like they just show you some bunch of videos and go learn yourself. Yeah.
I think the purpose of uni is mostly to they teach you stuff, but I think one of the most important thing is you learn how to learn. Not all the answers will be given to you, especially in life. So I think uni is one of those times where you really learn more about just learning in general, figuring out things by yourself, finding solutions to problems that hasn't ever existed in your life before. So yeah, I think UT did a good job in that terms.
Why do you only hang out with people from the same background? I'm not often hang out with my same friends, although we hang out as well, but I still have some international students friends, like Korean friends, Indian friends, and even some local friends. We hang out together as well. Yeah.
I think this question it depends, because when international students they first time they study abroad, and they might feel like pretty lonely, and like they can't really involve to other locals. So if you have the same background, you can speak the same language, it might probably help you to get into it, and also like you have the same
same thinking. Same thinking.
Yeah.
I don't think I hang out with only people from my background, though as much as possible I do, because at least it helps you understand the system, especially when you come here for the first time. You want to be around people from your background, and to understand how things work out in a new place, if I may say that. Yeah.
I really enjoyed communicating with people from other countries. Not true.
Yeah, it's not true, I guess. I think it's not true. I don't like hanging out with all Indonesians when I come from Indonesia. I mean, what's the point? I want to meet other people as well.
I feel like it's more comfortable being with someone who understands me. And I would like to ask the same question to domestic students as well. Why do you only hang out with people from same background?
How do you really feel about domestic students? Maybe this is a question that at the moment I'm not able to answer because I don't have classmates, domestic classmates. I have classmates from India, from Asia, from Nepal, from Latin America, from everywhere.
But
not domestic. So the only domestic that I've been in contact is on the street, or because I'm working as a barista, so all the customers that we have are from Australia, but I don't have this experience, and it's something that I really would like to have in my uni.
Yeah, I think like some of them are quite they are nice and friendly, and I think I can't really say like how I feel about them. Yeah, I think maybe what I feel about them, they're probably having the same feeling as me. Like for example, if I feel that like, oh, they're weird, like what they're doing is different from me, but then like maybe they will think that like I'm weird because I'm doing something that's different from them. Like maybe I don't understand them and they don't understand me as well. So maybe only when we understand each other, then maybe we can be like a really like good friend. So yeah.
Some domestic students actually are really very rude, to be honest. And I think it goes back to the fact that I feel there's a misunderstanding. It might be my assumptions anyway, that they feel maybe we are coming here to take their place. That's the way I feel about some of them. And I mingle with a few of them, even though I'm not friends with them, but I mingle with them because I feel mingling with them would be able to solve a little bit of that. At least get to know who this person is, get to understand where they're coming from. I remember having a discussion with one or two of them, and they were shocked at the fact that we pay that amount of money.
I don't know, I just feel like they need to educate themselves on what's going on around them. And also the fact that they have such a good opportunity with a country like Australia, but some of them take things for granted, I think. And yeah.
You know, Australia is a multicultural society where you come here and it's like you've been to a lot of countries. So I find this like a lot of domestic students don't take advantage of this, and then in class you see them being secluded, like they sit on one part, like they want to sit with their own, which in itself it's not wise. And then it just still shows for me, I'm sorry, but it still shows that racism is still in place. Like, for me to just decide to sit somewhere and then every time we're just sitting there. I know sometimes you just want to sit where you're more comfortable, but an opportunity to build relationship, to meet new people, that's what you have. And get to understand where we're coming from, will be a great start.
And to add to that, I think many of them have these notions based on the fact that they listen to so much social media. So they have that embedded in their head that, oh, this is how Africa is, this is how Asian countries are, this is how each continent is. So that automatically translates to, what we see in class, and instead of trying to get to know this person is here physically with you, why not get to know this person and ask those questions? But rather, I think it's the elderly people who actually do that and not the students, unfortunately.
Yeah, I would say that I don't want to label, the locals like they have been this or that. Honestly, some are helpful and some are not, but that's also according to their nature. Like, yeah.
And this question is kind of, you want me to generalize people, and I think it doesn't matter if you're domestic or not. If you've been open to me, I'll be open to you. It's a universal rule, applies to every country, every culture, and yeah.